the talking point is Roxham Road, and you just made your own journey to Washington this month, where you met your counterpart. You have the U.S. president coming here to meet the prime minister in just a couple of weeks. But you came back from Washington, unsurprisingly, without any commitments. This has been a long-standing debate and discussion. But I was struck that you came back with kind of a reminder to Canadians that we need to deal with root causes, that we need to deal with holistic solutions. And you're right, but that's going to take a long time. And getting a holistic solution for Haiti has taken forever and will probably take a long time, right? You can talk to the Minister of Defense and Foreign Affairs about Haiti. And if you're talking about Latin America, the flows are increasing, not decreasing, and attempts to fix root causes are a long-term project. So what do you say to the opposition and Parliament, and to people who just can't get their heads around what is effectively or de facto an open border on a pathway, even though there are all kinds of explanations for it? If all you have is just keep waiting, how do you fix that political challenge you face right now?
Well, you keep working on it. The reality is that the situation at Roxham Road is not just a political challenge. It's something that is a very real and substantive challenge on the ground that we've needed to address, because it's a social reality that people have been crossing the border in an irregular way. And we need to treat people with respect and make good on our both Canadian and international legal obligations. But we also need to demonstrate to Canadians that the process of immigration to Canada is one that has integrity, that is clear. And so people who are thinking about making a journey to Canada understand there are real opportunities for them to come through regular channels and not simply just to cross at Roxham Road. So to back it up, I think it's really important when we talk about addressing the root causes that we're simultaneously trying to address the acute situation at Roxham Road, the more broad circumstances across the Canada-US border from one coast to the other. And doing two things at once is a necessity when it comes to governance. So as we seek to,
so if there's two things, what's the second thing? So if the first thing is long term, understandable. Then how do you show progress when there's obviously an inexorable increase happening?
So I think there's a couple of different things that we do. One, we have been working towards a strengthened safe third country agreement with the United States. My trip to Washington, we were not expecting to, we didn't have an agreement signing ceremony scheduled, but it was a very productive use of my time from my point of view. And the secretary, I don't want to put words in his mouth, but I expect he would say the same. This is going to take a little bit of time to continue to reach an agreement that's not designed to respond to the challenges that are apparent over the next few weeks, but designed to address challenges that will continue to be apparent over the next number of generations if we don't deal with this now. So this is a long-term solution that we're looking for with the United States. And I was very pleased with the nature of our conversation, because we have an excellent partner with the United States. In addition to dealing with the situation at the border, we also need to make sure that within Canada, we're dealing with the challenge of having had 39,000 people last year cross into Canada in an irregular way. We're doing that in the immediate term by working with communities that have the capacity to provide the very basics for people, a roof over someone's head, for example. So we are treating people with basic dignity and respect, and we're working to collect information about what competencies people may have to plug them into opportunities so they can transition to supporting themselves more quickly. So those are the short and medium term things dealing with the circumstances within Canada and at the border. But we have to constantly be working on the long-term challenge, which is the root cause of irregular migration, whether that's building capacity with the nonprofit sector and civil society actors in source countries, or whether that's advertising the regular pathways, which we are still hungry to recruit people through. I'm thinking, for example, the temporary foreign worker program. When I met with my
before you shift, let's stay on Roxham Road for a minute. So I'm sure Anna has a follow up as well, but you could also just suspend the agreement. I mean, it's not working. It's effectively dysfunctional now. Why not suspend the agreement and let people just come through regular ports of entry? Or are you just afraid that you'll get many more people?
So I don't think suspending the agreement is a workable solution for a number of reasons. I think one, although you might see more traffic at points of entry, If your challenge is not just where people are crossing, but the fact that many people are crossing, it's not going to fix that challenge. In fact, I do expect you would see an uptick in the number of people who make asylum claims after crossing into Canada if you suspended the Safe Third Country Agreement. So I would not suggest that it provides no value now. I think there are challenges with it that we need to overcome, and I think that's pretty clear given what's transpired over the last number of months. But the other piece that not enough people are talking about is the dangerous journey that people take to come to Canada or to the United States is not just apparent at the border. There are people who are making life-changing, dangerous decisions for themselves and their family throughout the entire path along their migration journey. We should not be creating incentives that encourage people to uproot their lives, to flee very challenging circumstances that's going to place them in danger. To the extent that we can communicate that there will be a safe third country agreement, and that's a principle that I support, is that you should be free to seek refuge in communities or in countries that where you are fleeing violence, war, or persecution, danger to yourself or to your family. But we should do it in an orderly way wherever possible, and not encourage people to make extremely long and potentially very dangerous journeys. By regularizing the situation, not just at Roxham Road, but across the entirety of the Canada-US border, we'll be able to not only reduce the number of people who come to make asylum claims that would have been safe to do so in another country, but will discourage people from making that decision to make an extremely long and perilous journey for themselves and their loved ones.